Sheikh Hamdan is in Japan, and it looks like the ultimate bucket list trip, and we truly mean that.
Yeah, the Crown Prince of Dubai is in Japan, and the footage is so cool. Everyone's going to be booking flights. He's pictured with geisha. How the hell? Geisha? Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Enjoying unique dining coffee. It's a bucket list holiday for sure. And speaking of visas, Japan has recently become a simple destination for us to visit. UAE residents can now apply for an e-visa to Japan for under 100 dirhams.
So if you're looking at those pictures that we shared yesterday, and actually we shared pics of the trip, you know, it's like someone shares like a Facebook album, so His Highness shared his pictures, we reshared them, and everyone's like, they look so great. But we can actually get there, not visa free, but it's very, very simple. Since March 27th, Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced the new online visa application. Also, they stated that all residents in the UAE and Saudi are eligible to visit for a short-term tourist e-visa.
The general cost for the e-visa is 80 dirhams. However, UAE nationals can enter Japan visa-free and stay there for 30 days max. Wow.
And you can do everything His Highness did, which included, as you said, he was pictured with a geisha on the streets of Japan, which are just so cool and iconic. Beautiful. He had sushi.
If I would call this third love of my life, it would be Japan.
You and Ali K have like very strong interests in Japan. Why you specifically?
I just love the culture of Japan. Like I've always been fascinated. Like it's gonna be like this is funny to many people, maybe I don't know. But I love anime, and I learned Japanese culture through anime. That made me research, and I was intrigued. You know, and what's the do's and don'ts in Japan, basically.
Two questions. Yeah. Is anime a Japanese style comic book? And what are the do's and don'ts of Japan?
So first one, anime is an animated version of manga. Manga is basically the comic books, and then that's the animated version. The second point is, well, the do's is basically Japan is very friendly. Japanese people are very friendly. They're very polite in the way they speak. You won't see them like they're not very loud, so they're to themselves. So the do's is basically do what you're doing here, like in Dubai, basically. But the don'ts is don't give the waiters tips.
Huh?
Yeah, they find that very disrespectful. Yeah.
So interesting. How did you figure that out from anime?
So from anime, I researched. So this is from my research, not actually from anime, because I researched on like I wanted to visit Japan, and you know, so I was very intrigued, and I found out that you don't pay tips.
It's so saving money, but it's so interesting how in different countries the tips are so different. So I guess in America it runs on a tip culture because the service industry earns so low that like. You're basically tipping 20%, or you shouldn't even bother come to the restaurant. Yeah. And then in Ireland, it's 10%, but it's based on whether or not you think the service is good. So if you think it's good, you'll give more. Yeah. And sometimes people don't tip at all. Yeah. But it's not an expectation.
Here it's like 50-50, you know, in Dubai. Like you want to tip, but don't want to tip, don't tip.
I think that's because we're such a multicultural society that there's no expectation, and I think if there's good service, it's great to tip, and actually just based on people's salaries, it's great to tip. Yeah. But you know, and I actually think this is nice, it's the service industry, it's not an expectation. And therefore they don't have that like, sometimes I find like if there's an expectation to tip, there's nearly like a fake camaraderie that you could have with service industry people, and it's like a transaction type thing. Yeah. But because there's no expectation, I don't find that fakeness here, which I think is kind of nice.
Yeah, yeah. Like and it's so multicultural here that you wouldn't put a norm basically in Dubai.
You wouldn't put a norm
like
there's no percentage.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to Japan, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I tried to convince my my fiance to go there for our honeymoon, but no. No.
You have to learn. You're not going to call the shots anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Where does she want to go?
Bali.
Could you do both?
No. I wish, but no.
Well, I mean, you could do Bali this year and Japan next year.
Yeah, that's the plan. Like the next trip would be Japan, but yeah, Japan is a bucket list. It should be a bucket, like on your bucket list. Everyone, it's beautiful. Go to Japan.
Have you been?
No.
Yeah.
But I've seen pictures, videos, people like, you know, the vlogging, the vloggers, the travelers, basically.
Sheikh Hamdan.
Yeah. Sheikh Hamdan, your biggest example as well.
Yes.
Beautiful pictures. Beautiful pictures.
It's cherry blossom season. I'll tell the story again. It happened that I had my flights booked and COVID happened, so I couldn't go. So it's massively on my bucket list too. Guys, it's 8:53 and you're about to start your day and we're about to also start ours. Alibaba, massive thank you for joining the show this morning.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
A legend.
It was fun.
Legend is born. Guys, that is all we have time for on the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you every single weekday morning and we appreciate your time so much. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.